I don't even know where to start. Um, I know this sounds bad. It's really not that bad. I guess I'll start with some findings. I found another Discord group that I belong to now where we can talk about stocks and whatnot, investments and different things. I have my own males only group where we talk about that stuff as well. But it's a very exclusive group, so there's not a lot of people in there. And but this other one that I just joined, I don't even know how many people's in there, but there's a handful of people in there. And I found another decent YouTuber, better than me, obviously. Everybody's better than me. Just kidding. Probably 75% of them are probably better than me. But I keep it real. I'm unedited. Uncut reality, blah, blah, blah. So, anyways, so that might bump me up a little bit in some people's eyes and down in others. So, it's all good. Hakuna Matata. My point being, I've learned some stuff. Now, this guy in this other video, this YouTube video, of course, I'm not going to, I don't even remember his name. I gotta look him up again. But I'm not gonna put like his video clips and my video clips together because I already have to worry about copyright whatevers when I put music to my videos. I don't need any more trouble. And YouTube's funny about stuff. You got to be very careful. They're very pro censorship, and you only get 3 strikes over a lifetime. I was with YouTube. This is a rabbit trail. I was with YouTube for 5 years before Google bought them. I had no problems, none, that I can think of. Maybe some rude people, but that they're everywhere, right? So, yeah, I have very little issues. I don't even think I had really any problems. Until Google bought them, and immediately, 2012, when Google bought them, and they put out their new TOS or TOC, whatever you want to call it. I had nothing but problems. I already had 2 strikes out the gate just by them taking over. No chances of reconciliation, I think that's the right word, or, fixing it. No. Strike 2, boom. We're going to delete you. So, I had to hurry up and go in and clean up all my crap. I had over 1,000 videos, right? And, well, I don't think I had quite 1,000 at the time. I was real close to 1,000 videos at the time. But I had to go in and delete a bunch of videos, right? I had to go in and fix a whole bunch of stuff because they were going to terminate my account. I already had 2 strikes and you only get 3. So I cleaned everything up. I was doing really good for another 5 years. And then 1 year before or after Alex Jones got deleted, almost to the day, 1 year, they deleted me. 2017 was when I got deleted. I don't know when he got deleted, but it was like in August, I remember. So he got deleted, I think the same month. 1 year prior or 1 year later. And the reason I got deleted was for a very similar reason why he got deleted. Freedom fighter stuff, I had a friend who wrote a book called The Rise and Fall of Freedom in America. And I promoted this video that was made for his book with his permission. They shut me down for copyright infringement or some crap. And even though I had permission from the author to advertise for him, because someone else made the video, I got shut down. So, and they wouldn't even look at my letter saying that I had permission to advertise for this guy. So they were looking for a reason to shut me down, and that was the reason they shut me down. So now I have like a dozen different YouTube accounts, everyone for different subjects. That way, if they shut down my freedom fighter stuff, which they already have, it doesn't affect my other videos. And so I try not to talk about that stuff on my other videos. I got a gaming channel, which I never talk on. It's all strictly gaming. So they're not going to shut me down for that one. But I get copyright stuff all the time because I play music in the background. Now, the music is part of the video editing program. Most of the music is in this video editing program that I use. So I've got permission to use those videos, but I still get flagged for copyright, even though I have permission to use them. So they could delete me anytime just by using this music in the video editing app that gives me permission to use the music. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, censorship. So it's there for them to delete whoever they want to delete. And so I could get deleted at any time. For a number of reasons. I'm a conspiracy realist, not a theorist. I basically study the conspiracy theories and decipher them and figure out if they're actually real or not. Because some of them are stupid. But anyways, enough of that. So yeah, I got a bunch of different YouTube accounts. And I don't know why I went off on that trail. But anyways, so yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, this guy. Oh yeah. So I found this guy. Okay, now I found my way back to the surface from my rabbit hole. So this guy, I found him yesterday, I think, and he does a really good job of explaining stuff in his videos, but he's a lot more knowledgeable than I am. So I got another mentor, if you will. I had a couple already, but now I got another one. And I usually run my stuff across Edward Jones as well, my broker at Edward Jones, because he knows what he's doing more than I do. So, it looks like everything's up right now, which is good to a degree. I got $1,500 in ZIM. Now, the guy talked about Tesla, but he was talking about an ETF that was designed to mirror Tesla, and you could make money on it, but you're going to make the same amount of money, give or take, a few cents or whatever, with the ETF as you would with Tesla. So the way he explained it, I don't know if I understood it right. It's like, why would you invest in this ETF when you can invest in Tesla and pretty much do the same thing and have more security, So what I think is, with this ETF, this is my theory, you're buying Tesla stock through them. So you buy it, they collect a commission off of it, and maybe it's just a hair, a couple pennies. But they're collecting a commission off of it and then giving you the rest. And that's what I think it is. It's just a middleman. But I could be wrong. So, anyways, I don't obviously have a lot of money in Tesla. This is the free stock that they gave me. So, yeah. Anyways, I do have more money in Tesla in Cash App, I think. But I just leave it there. I don't touch it. You know, here I got, what, 0.057 shares of Tesla. I like Tesla. I just don't know if it's something I want to invest in. So, oh yeah, because I didn't buy it. It was all free stock. So I got 100% profit in this portfolio. My total returns is basically everything. So, not bad, not bad. Some got that's free money right there. I don't remember what it started out as. But, ZIM. I got about $1,200 or $1,300 invested in ZIM. Okay, it's down $100. So maybe I have $1,600 invested in ZIM, which is fine. I have 88 shares. It's paying, I think, $17 a share. What do I got? 86.5. So on my other phone, 86.5 times 17. That's almost 100% return on my investment, which right now the stocks are down. So if you buy now, my average cost of my stocks when I bought them, I guess, is $18.69. Right now, the stock price is $17.40. So, yeah, I'm getting pretty close to 100% return on my investment. So, $1,470 divided by 4. That's $367 a quarter times 0.75. So I'll make $275 this next quarter, unless I put more money in and I make some more money. But yeah, $275. I'll get $275, even though my stock is down 111. I'll still make $275. So I found out why it's a 25% tax. I'm not being taxed by the U.S. government. I'm being taxed by the Israeli government or whatever. I thought they were in New Zealand, but I guess they're in Israel. Maybe it's because their name is throwing me off. But they are an Israeli company. So, you know, they are Jews. And Jews are really good with their money, usually. So, and it's transportation. Although, the guy that I just discovered, he does not encourage investing in petroleum, and he doesn't encourage investing in transportation. However, I do, because, well, I'm in transportation, but I see, as you might notice from my last really long video, we're a petroleum dependent world. And of course the Rothschilds and Rockefellers tried You know, they made sure of that. Especially, what is it, the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers? The Rockefellers. You know, when they infiltrated the medical industry and started doing petroleum-based medicine. You know, they made the medical field dependent on petroleum. You know, transportation is dependent on petroleum. You know, it's like there's a lot of things. You got your skincare products, and it's not really aromatherapy. It's fake aromatherapy, the synthetic crap that people use. It's all petroleum based. So there's a lot of things that we use in our environment, whether we should or shouldn't be, that is petroleum based. So we are oil dependent, more so than we should be. So that's why I say, you can make up your own mind, but that's why I say, you know, petroleum is a good investment. Again, I don't think we need to be petroleum dependent. In fact, for the last decade or two, I've been telling people I need to start putting my money in all these conspiracy theory things that I've been trying to warn people against. And then that way, when they don't listen to me, I'm still making money off of the idiots, you know? It's like I've been trying to warn people about stuff since 9/11. That's really when I started waking up. But, I mean, I've been kind of sort of awake for a long time because my grandpa was awake. You know, he served in the military. He was in World War II. My dad almost went to Nam. And actually, both my grandfathers, I think they both were in World War II. And they both were awake, so to speak, but in different ways. One of my grandfathers was a con artist, so he was scamming everyone, including the government. But, and I don't kind of blame him for scamming the government, but, you know, he shouldn't have been scamming other people. But anyways, that's, you know, we all got those people in our family. So that was my dad's dad. And then my mom's dad, he was a very successful businessman and a good all-around guy, you know, Christian. You know, he was like a John Wayne, the kind of guy you look up to, you know. He was someone who is an inspiration, somebody you would want to be like. And so he didn't tell me a lot of things, but he would say things here and there, and it would sink in slowly. But like when I couldn't join the military, I was going to join the militia, and he said, you know, you don't want to do that. He talked me out of it. He says, you don't want to paint a target on your back, you know, because apparently you would think the militia's good. It's for the people, by the people. But, you know, they're basically going to be probably the first ones the government takes out whenever, you know, when we become fully communist. And so, you know, that's where all the people who are really wanting to protect their homeland, that's Homeland Security, not this other garbage that they call Homeland Security. You know, the militia is your real Homeland Security, but unfortunately it's infiltrated. And so if you do anything, if you say too much, whatever, they got your number. They know who's there. They know what you know, how much you know. And the ones that are a threat, they're the ones that they're going to take out first. So that's what my grandfather was talking about. But I didn't understand that for like a good 10, 20 years, right? So my grandpa was awake. And he was successful. So I wish I would have paid more attention to everything he said. And I wish I would have been like glued to his side and mirrored him, you know. because him and my grandma, they were an amazing team. And I've been looking for a woman like my grandma my whole life, and I haven't been able to find her. But, you know, I'm looking for a good teammate. I thought I found her a whole bunch of times. But, yeah, it is what it is. So, I'll probably never find her. And I'm not tripping on that either. So, I'm flying solo. But, Kano Solo instead of Han Solo. But this guy, I don't know, I got off on another rabbit trail. But this guy, he was talking about, petroleum. How he was not a fan of investing long-term in petroleum and or transportation. Now, he did talk about, he made a separate video for PBR and a separate video for ZIM. And I noticed him in a different video. He did like a broad, he was like scrolling through his videos, videotaping, screenshot video recording him going through all of his videos. And I saw ZIM in there, and I was like, ooh, I need to go back and look at that. And then I saw PBR when I did go back and looking for ZIM. So I watched the PBR one first, and then I watched the ZIM one. And even though he said he wasn't going to put his money there, he did say that they're somewhat stable. And I'll talk about PBR here in a minute. So, yeah, this company's been around for a long time. And one thing he said about this company and other companies like it, OROVY, is very similar to ZIM in the fact that, and probably even AMKBY. I don't know what he knows about them. I haven't found a video yet. But ZIM and OROVY basically deal with shipping containers and shipping and receiving and things of that nature. ZIM is bigger, where OROVY, I think they just make the shipping containers, but ZIM actually uses them, if that makes sense. So, but he said these kind of companies pay their CEOs dividends, kind of like, or pay them in stocks, and then they make money off their dividends. So the more stocks they have, the more money they make on their dividends. And so as long as they're paying dividends, their CEO people are making money. Now, this takes me back to something else, which is a rabbit trail, but related. In 2007, when I was studying Donald Trump, they talked about a family limited partnership, where if you got sued, if the person suing won, the plaintiff, I think is what it's called. The plaintiff. I don't know. I'm not big on court stuff. I usually try to stay away from this stuff. But anyways, yeah, the plaintiff. If the plaintiff won, because you would be the defendant, because they would be suing you. So if the plaintiff won, then they would only get the assets that were being distributed, or the revenue that was being distributed for the assets that year. So then you ask the people in your limited partnership, well, how much would you like to get paid this year? Right? So if they have a lawsuit or something that's pending, they may not pay their people that year. They may be like, oh, we're going to hold off. We're going to pay, X amount of dollars or X amount. They may lower their dividend, for that year, because the CEO is going to lose that dividend that year or that quarter or whatever if the plaintiff wins, right? So it's like, okay, if I'm going to lose all my money for this quarter, but I want to lose as little as possible, maybe I'll lower the dividend payout for this quarter, and then that way, if the plaintiff wins, then I lose less money. And then I'll raise the dividend next quarter or 2 quarters from now to make up for this quarter so that I don't lose any money. Or the, whatever. The people, the CEOs or whatever don't lose any money. Or don't lose very much. And that could be a strategy that they're playing. I don't know. But I just remembered that. So, it's like if you want to protect your assets, to look into family limited partnerships. That's what Donald Trump uses. So, or at least that's what he said he used back in 2007. I don't follow Trump that much anymore. But there's my farm YouTube account. So, yeah, I got a separate YouTube account for my farm stuff and trucking and aromatherapy and red pill stuff, the whole 9 yards. I got separate videos or separate YouTube accounts for every subject. That way, like I said, if one gets deleted, it doesn't affect all my other stuff. I lost everything in 2017. So I quit making videos for a long time. I think last year I started making videos again, more active. Yeah, it was last year. I started being more proactive in making videos. I don't go and edit them like I used to as much, because what's the point if they're going to get deleted, right? So with this whole censorship crap, it's like, what's the point in doing all this extra work on my videos if they're just going to censor me and delete me? So I quit putting in the extra effort. Everything's raw, uncut from now on. I mean, I do edit some stuff, but that's usually if my phone times out on me. Or if I think of something else later before I actually upload this video, I might piece the 2 videos together. That's it. That's the most. And I might put some fancy stuff in there at the beginning and the end to make it look cool. But that's it. I'm not doing any fancy editing. I mean, the fancy beginning and ending is the most fancy I do. So, for the most part, I did make a really cool video today for a friend. She loved it. But that was just a Facebook thing. And I don't know where I would put it on YouTube. It was cool. It was a Shining video from the movie The Shining. And there's only 2 references to the movie, but the whole thing basically references the movie. But then if I put it on YouTube, the soundtrack that I used or the background music that I used might get me, copyrighted. So it's like, it's like everything's copyrighted. It's like, what's his face had some beats in his music not too long ago. And it was similar but not identical, and he was being sued for his music being similar to somebody else's music. It's like, this day and age, you can't make music anymore without it being similar to somebody else's. I don't know what the statute of limitation is on music, but, it's like you would have to go back way, way back, like 17th century or 16th or 14th century to duplicate, to find stuff that's not copyrighted in order to make your new stuff these days, it seems like. I mean, people are doing it, but it's difficult, I'm sure. It's like crazy, crazy. Or you got to pay them royalties because your song sounds similar to their song. It's like I wrote when I was younger. I wrote a song. I used to be a musician, poet, and songwriter, and I'm like a jack of a lot of trades and master of nothing. But my song was written to Metallica 1, but the lyrics was more like Sanitarium. It was freaking awesome, but there was no way I could publish it. There's no way I could publish it, you know, unless I got Metallica's permission, you know. But, and maybe I should, have them sing it for me instead. I don't know. Maybe I could be the songwriter for them. It was freaking awesome. I don't know if I still have it, though. My first wife might have burnt it. She burned a lot of my music and poetry. And after that, I pretty much quit writing. I still wrote a little bit, but not so much after that. But anyways, so he didn't like transportation and he didn't like petroleum. So I don't know what he likes. But he said these are not something long-term to invest in. He's, I guess, looking at long-term buy and hold for the rest of your life type investments, which is fine. That's what I'm looking for too. But right now, I'm looking for the best bang for my buck. Now, I showed you why I like ZIM over PBR, because they're basically making money. Every one of these, except, I don't know, maybe Tesla, but I have to go look. Every one of these, except for PBR, are making more money than what they're paying out. The only reason why I like PBR is because the money is somewhat guaranteed because it's backed by the government. And they were my first really good find. So, they were like my first love. I mean, not really. Western Union was. Western Union. They were my first find. But these were my first. PBR was my first best find. And they really kickstarted me on this dividend quest. But Western Union was the first one to clue me in that direction. And then PBR was the second one. I accidentally found them. I just accidentally stumbled across them. And I was like, holy cow. I was making almost 10% or more. No, I was making more than 10%. I don't remember what I was making. Oh, it was monthly. I was making like 10% monthly or quarterly. 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, it was closer to 10% quarterly. And I was like, wow, I'm getting 10% return on my investment. So I was like, whoa, this is good. So that's when I started getting into dividends, when I discovered PBR. So in a sense, they're like my first love when it comes to stocks. Now, the guy talked about PBR. PBR, now he said mostly good things about ZIM, but he said the main thing with ZIM is, when the economy starts to feel a pinch, so is shipping and receiving. Shipping, and I get that. I'm in trucking. I'm in transportation. Yeah, we feel it. When people aren't spending money, we're not hauling product because people aren't buying product. So I'm a tanker, so my part of the industry is more stable. And I do biofuel, well, the ingredients for biofuel and animal feed. Everything's pretty much food grade. So, biofuel, that's the big thing. That's 95, maybe 95% of what I haul is biofuel ingredients. That's a big thing. That's my bread and butter right now. My last tanker job, I was hauling cattle feed, liquid cattle feed. So, but a lot of the ingredients that go in biofuel go in cattle feed and dog food and poultry. I haul to poultry places, and mostly it's corn oil that I'm hauling there. But there's also, what is it? Choline chloride, which is a vitamin B supplement. I used to haul that to poultry farms all the time as well. So, look into those kinds of things as well, because people got to eat, and your food's food. I mean, your food has to eat too, right? And so, if you're investing in your food's food, whether you're a vegan or an animal eater or both, investing in your food's food might be a good way to go as well. So, but he said the problem with PBR is the government basically controls them. And apparently this new president of Brazil, I don't know if he won or not, but the guy he was talking about in the video, it's kind of like the Biden administration, where he wants to go green, but he wants to do it at other people's expense, right? So it's like, I have no problems going green. Hey, I'm a tree hugger too, but we can't just like go at it cold turkey. Anybody who's done drugs or alcohol or smoked cigarettes, which is pretty much, they're all drugs. Everyone knows, who has had an addiction of some sort, that quitting cold turkey is traumatic. Yeah, it can be successful, but it's traumatic. You go through withdrawals, you go through convulsions and all kinds of crazy shit. And if you do that to the economy, it's going to go crazy. It's going to be the same thing. It's just a little different. I mean, the symptoms are the same, but yeah, I think you understand what I'm talking about. But anyways, so, it's like we got to baby step our way into a greener economy. It's just like when I quit smoking cigarettes, I gradually cut down and eventually quit. I didn't quit cold turkey. And I never really was addicted to anything else except for women. And I had to gradually cut back on that too. But anyways, not like, prostitutes or anything. Just, I'm like a codependent. I get attached and I fall in love too easy. And so then I get my heart broken. And so, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, what is this? Oh, Taco Bell. Taco Bell! I love those nacho fries. But anyhow, so he was talking about how this new president may not be good for PBR. And so PBR may not be as stable as we would like it to be. So PBR may not be a good investment, but like I said, I only got $100 in there over here. I don't know what I got in there in Cash App, probably 400 in Cash App. The stocks are up. Last I checked. And the guy said they were in debt at one point, but they've been slowly working their way out of debt, paying off their debt. He said they've been really good at paying off their debt. Okay, yeah, so I'm $5 in the green with PBR. My average cost is $10.29. They're above that. Yeah, I would buy PBR when it drops under 10 if you're going to buy PBR. And ZIM under 20. These guys, I only have one share. but I bought it at $80 a share, so it's way up. $84.77 is what I bought it at. So yeah, making a little bit of money there. But I'm mostly interested in the dividends. So let's go over here real quick, because I already know I'm probably at 30 minutes. 40. Now, in listening to this guy, I've been programming a whole bunch of more codes into my app here. He was talking about these guys, OPESF, 300% yield. However, they're paying out more than they're earning, so they're losing money, which is a red flag. Now, if you only want to dump your money in there for 1 quarter, might not be a bad idea if they're still in business next quarter. But 300% return on your profit is not bad for short-term investment. 300%. That's crazy. Okay. So, 300%. So yeah, you could make after taxes probably 100% return on your investment after 6 months. You know? So it depends on what your goals are. If you trust them enough to put your money there. I don't even know if I can invest in them, because every company's different. Every investment company's different. Like Edward Jones, I can't invest in ZIM through Edward Jones, and I can't do it in Cash App. I have to use Robinhood or this other app that I got, Ameritrade. This one here, OP, I found them. So they're losing money. Their earnings per share is in the negative. They got 150% yield. So it looks good when you're looking at the yield, but then you look at what they're making and you're like, whoa. You know, that's why I like ZIM. It's 101% return on your investment, but they're making money. Their earnings per share is $38.35, and they're paying you almost $17 of it. So, boom, can't beat that, right? So, yeah, it may not last, but at least it's a stable company to invest your money in. So I love ZIM. It may not be the best thing to retire on, but it's a good short-term investment. That's what the other guy said too. He said it was a good short-term investment, but not a long-term investment. So, PBR, oh yeah, this EFSH is not a good one either. They're paying out more than they're making. PBR is paying out more than they're making as well, but oh, it looks like they're gonna pay this month. So I just watched another one of his videos. I need to punch in all the codes, but he listed like 48 companies that paid monthly. And so that's another good thing to look for too. And he said that they'll change periodically. It looks like PBR may pay out this month as well. Paid out last month, as did ZIM, but it looks like they're gonna make another payment around the end of the month. So I look forward to that. However, wait a minute. No, it looks like they just made. So it looks like they switched to monthly, and I should get a monthly payment here in a few days, because 428 just passed. I don't know. Price change. I don't know what that means. I have to go. Let's see what this says. X dividend date, dividend pay date. So it does look like they switched to monthly. So that's good. That's good. You know, who doesn't like a monthly paycheck? I don't like waiting for the end of the quarter. I get kind of impatient. But it's like, come on, give me some money. But, you know, I just get more money at the end of the quarter versus, you know, a smaller amount at the end of the month. But if I get paid monthly and I reinvest it, it's like compounding interest. Where if I get quarterly, well, still compounding interest, is just a slower compounding interest. But I'm going to start having to pull some money out because, well, I'm on the fence. One of my pickup trucks just broke down. I got 3 pickups. I had 3 pickup trucks. I have this white Dodge Dakota that I've had since 2003, and that thing's like a tank. I mean, it's got some issues, but it's still running like a champ for the most part. Right now, I'm afraid to take it off my land because I've had some instances where it didn't want to start, and I'm afraid I'm gonna be stranded out and about. But I think I fixed it. But there's still a couple other things that need to be fixed that it could be. So I'm like, I don't know if I should leave my property or not. But I don't like being, you know, grounded to my property either. So I just don't go very far. But unless I absolutely have to, you know. But I just bought another Dodge Ram. The Dakota is a 93. It's been a great truck. But it's a stick, right? So a few years back, about 5 years ago or so. Yeah, about 5 years ago, I bought a 92 Dodge Dakota. I was like, this 93 has been so great to me. Why not get this 92? I paid, you know, I didn't pay a whole heck of a lot. The guy said it was worth $7,500, but he was selling it to me for $2,500. Of course, I paid, you know, he owner financed me, so I gave him 10% return on his investment by financing me. I had it, my contract that we wrote up was like a year, but I had it paid off in 6 months, but I still gave him the extra 10% because that's what I told him I'd give him, right? I was like, if you finance me, I'll give you 10% return on your investment, boom, boom. He's like, okay. After that, he's been bugging me. Well, he's dead now, but after that, he was bugging me to buy more stuff. He's like, yeah, I'll finance you, because I was probably the best person he's ever financed anything to. I don't know, but the way he acted resembled the fact. So it's like he kept wanting to finance me stuff. Now it's like, hey, I can make a 10% return on my investment, you know. But that truck turned out to be a lemon, so I never bought anything from him again. You know, I think he knew that. He just wanted to offload it. I ended up putting $5,000 into that truck, and now it's worth $7,500. But the transmission just quit on it. And I already had the transmission rebuilt because it quit on me not long after I bought that truck. So I had the transmission rebuilt for $2,500. Now, 3 years later, transmission's gone again. So I'm not going to rebuild the transmission again. Dodges, back then, the sticks were pretty good, but the automatics were junk. And so that truck's now a parts truck, unless I find another V8 of that year, or, you know, that ballpark. that I can use this truck for spare parts for, because it's an automatic. I'm not going to buy another automatic. I'm going to buy a stick from now on. I mean, unless it's newer, I'm going to have to talk to mechanics and say, hey, tell me about this year, blah, 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 vehicle. How's the transmission? How's the engine? What's this vehicle's problems? What is this vehicle known for problems? So I'm kind of getting away from Dodges. I love Dodge, but I'm going in the direction of probably Chevy or Toyota. So Chevy's parts are more interchangeable and they're cheaper than Toyota. Toyota lasts longer, but the parts are more expensive and they're harder to find. So it's like, well, I'm probably going to go in the direction of Chevy because parts are easier to find, they're cheaper, and they're more interchangeable. Where Dodge is not so much. It's like you got a 5-year window where you can interchange parts and then they change everything. Where Chevy, I think the window's more like 10 or 15 years. So you have a better window. So yeah. So that's the direction I'm going. Now with these newer vehicles, they're all crazy. They got these big giant tablets that are installed in the dash, and if that thing goes out, you're screwed. You know, I will not have one of those, probably ever. I hate key fob, keyless entry, keyless remote, keyless start vehicles, and I definitely don't like those laptop vehicles. That's what I'm gonna call them, laptop vehicles or tablet vehicles. These smart vehicles, they're cool when they work, if they work, right? I'm old school. Give me old school. But anyways, so that transmission went out. Now I'm down to 2 trucks, but my blue truck, the Dodge Ram that I just bought, I got a good deal on. Rebuilt motor, rebuilt transmission, $1,500. He said the only thing that wasn't rebuilt yet was the rear end. Well, I got 2 or 3 of those. 4. No, 3. I got 3 of those now because my other truck just broke down. I got 2 spare parts trucks on my land. So, because parts are starting to become harder to find for that year Dodge. So, but now I got 3 rear ends gonna be sitting on my land. So if I need a new rear end, boom, I got one. But I got a guy who can rebuild it, no problem. But if he runs into a problem, because that truck that just lost its transmission, it needed a new front end. And he couldn't find one. Luckily, I had a spare parts truck on my land that had a 4-wheel drive front end. So he basically swapped the axles. Boom. It was up and running. Then a couple months later, boom, transmission goes out. I'm like, great. You know, I spent almost $1,000 fixing the front end, and now the transmission goes out. So if I'm gonna fix that truck, I'm going to put a standard in it. I'm not gonna put another automatic in it. But doing the conversion from automatic to standard is a pain in the butt, he said. So I gotta find somebody who's willing to do it if I'm gonna do it. But I got 2 standard transmissions sitting on my land. If they're compatible to a V8, I don't know. Because I understand Dodge is funny about that. They make V6 transmissions compatible to V6s and V8 transmissions compatible to V8s, and they're not interchangeable, unlike Chevy, which is why I'm going in the direction of Chevy. So now I got to go find another truck, because I got 1 truck that's broke down, 1 truck that's dead, and another truck that I don't know. So I need something reliable. So I'm going to go buy something newer, probably a Chevy. So I might be cashing out some of my stuff. Especially Bitcoin. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to go up so I can cash it out. It needs to hurry up. Has my YouTube video uploaded yet? It looks like it did. It's still hanging out right here at 29,000. trying to get it up over 30. But what I'm thinking about doing, because I've already made some money on it, I'm in the green, so to speak. When it gets up to, I don't know, 24,000 or 2,400, I'm probably just going to cash it out. So this next week when I'm home, see, I'm at 21. So I need it to go up another 200, 300. Go up another $300. If it goes up another $300, I might just cash out the whole thing and use that to go towards my new pickup truck. Newer. It's not going to be brand new. I'm not that dumb. But, yeah. And look at some of these other things that I can probably cash out. But a PBR, see where my PBR is. Oh, it's only making $13 right now. Was up to like 100. But I got almost $1,000 in there. So, I mean, I could cash out my PBR while it's in the green. But why would I do that when, what's the dividend? So I got $950 total between the two apps. Oh yeah, 63% return, give or take. So, what are they paying? $6. Oh, that's the next quarter. They were paying more. They were paying almost as much as ZIM, I think. No, they weren't. I don't know what they were paying last quarter. Damn it. I forgot. Anyways, I think they were paying more last quarter. But let's just look at the $6.44. Oh, how many shares do I have? Well, I'll just do the percentage for now. So $950 times... How do I do this? 63? No. Point. 6355. Okay, that'll be about $600 for the year divided by 4. Oh, they're paying monthly now. Divided by 12. $50. I'll make $50. Give or take. This month. So, I don't know. I mean, I could cash it out. Because, I mean, the interest rate on a pickup truck is going to be at least 10%. And then I got to get full coverage insurance, which that's going to be expensive. Then the taxes on it's going to be expensive. So, if I can eliminate the full coverage insurance, because I don't really need that. I hardly ever drive it. I only drive when I'm home, which is once a week. And so if I can eliminate the high insurance cost and eliminate the truck payment, then all I gotta do is worry about the taxes, then start dumping my money back into a good paying dividend stock. There's a few that I found over the last couple days. Like this one here, it's like you don't even know what its earnings per share is, so I'll be like, nah, I'm good. See here, they're paying more than they're making. OROVY. So yeah. As far as the long-term buy and hold stuff, one guy said O. Who is O? These guys. Realty Income Corporation. Well, see, their dividend's higher than their earnings per share too. So that doesn't, I wouldn't invest in that. That doesn't look good to me. So I'd have to find out why they're able to afford to pay out more than what they're making. Is it worth investing in? So, and I can't remember the other one that the guy said. But that was a guy in this group that I joined. First thing I did was find the group that talked about dividends or potentially talked about dividends. And I said, hey, I'm looking for dividend stocks, blah, 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 if you know any. And he said 2 of them. And I didn't tell him about ZIM and PBR. I told him about OROVY. I figured, well, you know, why give them your best right out the gate, right? So I told him about OROVY out the gate. And then fill them out a little bit. If they give me another good one, then I'll give them a good one too. But, I mean, I'm giving you guys the free information, but I'm filling these guys out first before I give out too much free information. It's like, hey, give me some information, I give you some information, you know, it's a two-way street. So, but yeah, if you find anything that you think is a good long-term or short-term dividend investment, let me know so I can let my dad know and let my brother know and let other people know in the video. And teamwork makes the dream work. We can make some money together. But anyways, I gotta go finish this paperwork and finish editing some videos for the farm because I'm behind. The video I just uploaded for this channel I did a week ago, and I just finally put it together. It was a pain in the butt to put it together because this phone doesn't have very much memory disk space, so I had to shrink the video down, compress it as small as I possibly could just in order to make it, because this video has very little disk space. So I really need to back up that other phone and start using it to do this. Or, well, I gotta have a burner phone because I don't want this one connected to the internet all the time, because I don't want people to have access to my money. But yeah, last but not least, when I was an IT guy, I still kind of am. Norton, 15 years ago, I think, when the smartphones were starting to come out, they on purpose lost about 100 phones in an airport. Had tracking devices on them, the whole 9 yards. So they were tracking up, tracking who found the phones and all the activity on the phones. And they said approximately 50% of the people that found these lost phones, one of the first things they did, maybe not the first, but one of the first things they did was they tried to go in and start accessing the online banking stuff. So that's why I put all this valuable stuff on a burner phone. It only has access to the internet when I tell it to. And if my phone or my internet is not in close proximity to each other, it don't work. And then it's double, triple password protected. And then, of course, the banks, not these apps per se, but the banks, they recognize IP addresses. So if the IP address is wrong, they're using a different internet, then they can't access my bank accounts. So Robinhood and Cash App, they don't do that, but I think Ameritrade does, and the rest of them do. So those are the only two apps that if someone stole my phone and they were able to get past the passwords, then they could access my Robinhood and my Cash App account, because it's just automatic and it doesn't recognize IP addresses. But those are the only two. Everything else is protected more. And that's why I put them on burner phones, or a burner phone, Because that way, nobody has access to my money. You guys know more about this phone than anybody else does. And, but yeah, you'd have to be here to access it. Or figure out when I'm going to be online and hack whatever internet I'm using to hack the phone. So you have to figure all that stuff out too. So this phone's very protected from people stealing my stuff. It's like I say, you guys know more than anybody when it comes to my stuff here. And yeah, I keep it pretty private, you know. I mean, I do all right. I make okay money. My credit's okay. But, you know, it's like I'm not rich, so I don't really have a lot to hide. But I also don't need somebody jacking up my credit. I could do that on my own. But no, actually, normally I try to jack up my credit on purpose so people don't steal my identity. Right now, I need it, so I've been working on building my credit score so that I could use it. But when I don't need it anymore, I will purposely destroy my credit score so that no one tries to steal my identity. Because who wants to steal the identity of someone who has crappy credit, right? So, there you go. That's just me. You know, some people like their credit. I don't necessarily. It's just right now I'm a little dependent on it. But I try not to be. So, yeah. Okay, bye.